Bots are definitely evolving. They used to be quite dumb. You know, dating back all the way to season 1, there have been different phases. When bots first came to the game, you could tell. I mean, they definitely wouldn't drive cars. They wouldn't throw nades. They wouldn't heal. They wouldn't revive. They wouldn't even go into buildings. They literally look like a little 5-year-old lost at a theme park looking for their parents. That's what bots used to look like in the game. Then we started to see kind of a transition, and this has always been unbeknownst. It's kind of like, it's just something, it's a don't ask, don't tell, you know, type thing with PUBG Mobile. They never actually talk about bots ever. Whenever there's a change, it's just something that us as players realize, and we just kind of adapt to the situation. So bots then started to, you know, their AI just seemed to look a little bit more realistic. You know, then we started seeing them show up in buildings, which was crazy. You know, for those of you that were around during that time, it was pretty wild when bots would actually show up in a building. And we've just seen them change. However, now it's totally different. They're now being referred to as super bots. But before we get into that, we also, no, it's not a sponsored video. I'm not going to, break it. Hey, download raid challenges. No, it's not that. Most intelligent bots that we saw at one time was when they introduced Livic AI. And in Livic AI, you had kind of like easy, just kind of like, medium, and then you had hard. So those were like the 3 different versions. And you could definitely tell the difference between the AI. And now it's totally different. Where I'm noticing it the most, now you guys are, of course, watching Karakin gameplay. This is my favorite map. But the map that's getting hit the hardest with these quote-unquote super bots is Erangel, specifically the event mode, to the point to where some people will play an entire match and not encounter a single real player. Now, these bots, like I said, are different from something we've ever seen. They will absolutely laser you. We're talking from 200 meters and beyond. They look like, they're just kind of like, just wandering around, not really knowing what's it. And then they just flick on you and they'll absolutely laser you. They're also reviving. Where I first heard about this, big shout out. I don't think he watches the channel, but of course, huge shout out to Bushka. He's the one who, first kind of brought this to light. A lot of people were talking about it on Discord and some other social media outlets, but he made a very compelling video about these super bots that are now in the game, where they will throw smokes. They will do everything that a real player would do, but the difference is they're not real. Now, again, when I make these videos, I always just have to speak for myself, hopefully a couple of, you guys watching, will at least agree, at least a few of you. We play PUBG Mobile because we like real engagements. We like knowing that we're playing a real person, that this is a game happening in real time. This isn't a game where you want to come across, a bunch of NPCs, where you want to come across, a bunch of artificial intelligence. You want to know that the person you're playing with is somebody who's real. If that wasn't the case and the whole game was just full of bots, it wouldn't be as exciting. It wouldn't be where it wouldn't have gotten as far as where it is today. Now, many of you guys have probably asked why. Why all of a sudden do we have these more intelligent bots to the average player? Remember, a lot of you guys watching are leaderboard rank grinders, sweaty tryhards, are watching the channel. Somebody who is an extremely casual player, extremely casual, which, believe it or not, makes up the majority of the player base. They're not even going to know the difference. Like, you can tell this is a real engagement where you're playing a real player. These bots, for example, because I have left a few clips intentionally, these are the engagements that we love to see. This is what gives us that dopamine. It gives us that rush, gets your heart beating. When you're in engagements like this, AI is not going to be able to do this engagement. This is just one, of many examples, because the bots aren't moving like a normal player, but they will take you down. They will take you down to Chinatown, these bots. But these are the type of engagements, this right here, that we absolutely love to see. Anyway, I digress. So the average player isn't going to know the difference. They're going to think that these super bots they're going up against are real players. They're not going to know. They don't have enough experience. They haven't been playing the game long enough to even be able to tell the difference. Okay? Some people think an actual bot from before was a real player, let alone, these super bots. So the question everybody's asking is why? But a couple people were asking, about why are these super bots now in the game? And I was just on Discord just kind of thinking, like, how can they not know? It's so obvious. It's painfully obvious. And that is the World of Wonder, the creation mode that's now in the game. If you look, the majority of those maps, like say the top 20 maps, if you click on one of those and you hit start, you almost instantly get a match. Instantly, you get a match when you're playing the majority of the most popular creation mode maps, that other people have created. You get a match instantly. And they're all real players. They're not putting bots. You're not queuing up with bots in the creation mode. And what's amazing is that's what we've wanted in classics for so long. And I've said this before. I did the math in a different video. If I can find it, I'll link a card up at the top. Go ahead and watch it. But it was the issue with matchmaking in classics and how difficult it is to get matches. Trust me when I tell you, Tencent, they're not blind to this. They know. PUBG Mobile knows that there's a matchmaking, a long queue time for the majority of these maps, specifically when you're not playing on a Wrangle. So now you add World of Wonder, which has an infinite end. There's no end to the maps that can be played in creation mode, which a lot of people are shifting over that direction, leaving classics by the wayside. And I was supposed to have my 3x here, by the way. I thought that I had my iron sights. Anyway, got wrecked. And so we already had a matchmaking issue with classics, and that was before World of Wonder. So now you add World of Wonder, which is a great game mode. I'm not knocking it in of itself. I really enjoy World of Wonder. We'll just play it again. I didn't know I was going to go this long, but I'm on a roll. I really enjoy it. I'm not knocking it. What I am knocking is World of Wonder is taking away from classics. Because this was going to be recognized, it's no secret, World of Wonder, when World of Wonder shows up, is the exact same time the super bots have shown up. So in order to fill the lobbies and give you a queue time, they have to do something. They know people can't just wait 15 minutes to play a match. So what are they doing? They're pumping these lobbies full of these super bots to help minimize matchmaking wait time. It's amazing. We went from kind of going from a stance where people were like petitioning to try to get bots removed from the game. We actually had that. There's actually, for those of you longtime players, we used to have that. It was called hardcore mode, where there were no bots. It was 100 real players. It was awesome. But anyway, that's a subject. We could do that for another video. What do you guys think of it? Do you think, how long do you think is too long to wait for a match? And at this point, I don't even know what they can do to fix the situation, to not have bots filling up all the lobbies, because they've just added, their crown jewel, which is World of Wonder. But now we have this issue with classics, and to me, classics is still going to be the bread and butter. And I just don't know where they go from here. How will they fix this issue? It's tough. It's a tough one. I really don't have a definitive, answer to it. It's more kind of rhetorical, but I'm definitely not a fan. I mean, of course, we want to have as many real players in these lobbies as possible. But with World of Wonder, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to try to balance out the two. But if you haven't noticed, I'm sure most of you guys have by now. But yeah, these super bots are here. They're they're kind of like the hard version of the Livic bots in the AI mode. That's kind of, you know, what they remind me of. They're not bots like this, like that guy. You know, they're much different, and they do a ton of damage to you, but it just kind of takes away from the battle royale experience that we all know and love, where you want to, the last person you want to fight, you want them to be a real player. You know what I mean? It's just, anyway. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know by dropping a like. Just takes a second. Of course, subscribe if you think I earned it. But yeah, until the next one, this is Riggs. Let me know what you think.